All right, picking up on page 125 now. All right, the next thing you should highlight is everything having to do with underage here. All right, which you see right here. Underage first offense, 0.01% or more. All right, so it's any trace of alcohol. All right, so that person is either going to, if they have their license, it's going to be subject to a 30 to 90-day suspension. If they don't, they'll push back the date that that person can qualify for their license or at the same amount of time. Okay, very popular penalty right now, all right, and has been for a few years now, or especially for underage people, is this community service that's there. Okay, and then the participation in the intoxicated driver resource center and paying for all those things there. All right, so you see the chart that's there. All right, kind of sums all those different things up, and you see how it's tiered right there. Okay, between the first offense and the second offense. On the following page, right? Again, the chart that's there. Okay, right, and understand how everything is tiered with it. Okay, but what's new for us here is this driving with no insurance. All right, and the possible fines for it. All right, definitely the surcharge on your license from the motor vehicle. Okay, and then possession of drugs. All right, which is right in this area here. Okay, you see driving while possessing drugs, 2-year license suspension. I'm not sure why the fine is so minimal. All right, but that's how it's listed there. Okay. Next part on the following page. This is on page 127 now. All right. Under breath test. All right. So this is the implied consent law. Okay. All right. New Jersey has an implied consent law. This means that motorists on New Jersey roadways have agreed simply by using New Jersey's roadways to submit to a breath test given by law enforcement or hospital staff following an arrest for an intoxicated driving offense. Motorists who refuse to take a breath test will be detained and brought to the hospital where the hospital staff may draw blood. Motorists who refuse to take a breath test in New Jersey are subject to the violation surcharge of $1,000 per year for 3 years. Again, that's $3,000. Failure to pay these surcharges result in indefinite suspension, which I went over before. All right. So again, implied consent means that you will submit to a breath test when you're asked to. If you do not, then you're automatically found guilty of that number offense for you. Okay? All right, going to be moving, goes through the interlock device which is here, okay, which I mentioned before. All right, so just understand, okay, that this is a very popular penalty now, and then again, it's tiered, right, as it's going through here. Intoxicated Driver Resource Center, which I went over before, and I talked about it in class. It's either a 12-hour class or a 48-hour class, depending upon the number of offense for you. Okay, you have to sign up for the class, and there are weekly classes, and then also the 48-hour one. You have to go and stay somewhere, and each county has a place for people to go, and they hold those classes at least twice a month. All right, next, here's some random motor vehicle violations that are here. All right, and again, next two things are going to be review for you. Ice and snow, all right, and the penalty for it, which we went over in earlier pages. Highway construction zones, which we also went over. All right, speed zones, which is on the following page. So this is on page 130 now, and how fines are doubled and points are doubled in speed zones and 65-mile-per-hour zones. Okay. Drug offense. I talked about in that chart already. Okay. Lying on the application, all right, or presenting false documents or things like that. So when you go to the office there, if your documents are deemed to be not correct, all right, or you try to fake that, all right, then you're subject to these penalties that are here. All right. On the following page, driving on the suspension list. All right. So if your license has been suspended and you continue to drive, all right, you're subject to this penalty here. All right, driving while the license and/or registration is suspended and having a crash that causes injury to another person will result in a fine, continued suspension, and the potential for a minimum of 45 days jail sentence. Especially if alcohol is involved. All right, and you were driving on the suspension list. All right, and your license was suspended because of an alcohol offense, and then you are driving on the suspension list and you're involved in a crash involving alcohol, all right, expect to do 30 days in the county, all right, for that.